Hello food fans and welcome to my predictions for WWE Elimination Chamber 2015. Now, even though there was only a 2-week build up to this event, I think it's going to be a good show. Although I definitely feel for them because this event is obviously the Elimination Chamber, and you so know there's going to be someone in the Elimination Chamber that's also going to be in another 2 weeks in Money in the Bank. Probably the two hardest matches the WWE has. So I'm definitely feeling for them, but it's what they wanted to do, so hey. Well, start with a kickoff, which is going to be a Miz TV with Daniel Bryan. There's not really much to say. I just think it's a way of getting him on TV, probably to promote his new DVD, but probably also to promote Tough Enough, so not really important. So let's just get on with the main show and start with the WWE Tag Team Championship match inside the Elimination Chamber. Now, when I first heard they were going to make this a match, I figured there's 3 ways they could do it. Either they have 3 tag teams and have 1 guy in each pod with 2 guys starting, which I figured could work, or they could have 4 tag teams with half the team in a pod each and then start the match with 4 guys. So 1 person of each team in the ring to begin with, and then after increments someone else enters the match, adding extra team members. The problem with both of these is the eliminations would be a bit funky, because if you pin 1 guy, I guess that would mean that you need to pin both guys to eliminate the team, so I could see how that would be a bit yeah. How they've gone with it is they've had 6 teams. Now again, I do not envy the guy, because how this is going to end up working is 2 guys in 1 pod, and if it's the same chamber as it's always been, which I believe it is, then that's going to be cramped. And I've heard lots of people saying, oh, why don't they stick the Wyatt family that's reunited but without Bray Wyatt? Why don't they stick them in there? Could you imagine the 2 of them in 1 pod? Yeah, I suppose they could start off, but still. The only thing I am nervous about, I really don't think this is going to happen, but the way the WWE is with tag team matches these days, it wouldn't surprise me, is if after the team then enters the match, then they have to tag each other in and out. Like, so they come out the pod and then they go to a corner, one guy goes to a corner, another guy in the ring, and then they have to tag. That would be stupid, but it wouldn't surprise me if WWE does this, because they do it in frickin' cage matches, and that's just ugh. I don't think they're gonna do this as there's 6 teams, so if there's 5 teams out at once, then how would that work? Ignoring the fact that they would just eliminate 1 team so they never got to 5, but still, I hope to God they do not do that, and just have both guys in the ring and do it tornado style. But as for who is in this match, it's New Day versus the Primetime Players versus the Lucha Dragons versus the Ascension versus Las Matadores versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Now, I personally believe that the Elimination Chamber is the sort of match which is very good to change a champion on, because they can come out from anywhere. If you wanted to literally divert it in a way that you don't necessarily see coming, and Elimination Chamber is a brilliant way of doing it. And usually I like a change of champion inside the Elimination Chamber, because it's such a tough match and the odds are so stacked against you that it just makes sense. That being said, New Day wins. Yes, I think this out of the box thinking match, tag team Elimination Chamber match, will end up with a title defense. I just think this was a way that they could throw yet another thing at the New Day. They have the odds stacked against them, and then they still succeed, because we want to see them get beat so much that they just keep winning. I don't think it's going to be fair, but I do think they're going to win. Probably the 3rd member, whoever it is, will interfere and get the match for them, but I do see it being a good match. Next match, Neville versus Bo Dallas. Now, I know these 2 have history, and I guess this match has been put together to try and promote NXT, but with the way they've treated Bo Dallas so far, it's kind of out of place. Bo Dallas is nothing. To say he's a jobber would kind of be a bit of an overstatement, because he kind of isn't on TV at all. He just turns up every now and again, gets pinned, and fucks off. And now he's in a special event with a guy they're trying to push, and it's kind of a bit, well, Neville, you were fighting a world champion, you were fighting former 15-time world champion, now you've got Bo Dallas. Okay, it's a bit of a step down there, but okay. The only thing I can imagine this match would be any good for is if they have a brilliant match, 5-star match, because then that would help build Bo Dallas. Now, I'm saying this right now, Bo Dallas under any circumstances should not win this match, but if they have a 5-star match, it may increase him a little bit so people start paying attention to him. But if he wins, then that would be terrible. I'm not going to say it will bury Neville. I think it needs a little bit more than that to bury him, but it would be starting to steer that way. The next match, one hell of a match. The champion versus champion match. John Cena versus Kevin Owens. Now, just to be clear, I had to do my research to work this out, and went on WWE.com and actually read the Learn More thing, but this is a non-title match. It wasn't quite made clear on Raw, but the title is not on the line. Although last week I could swear I went on WWE.com to see how the card was looking, and it was. So it looks like they've changed it, but anyway, I think that's better for this match. But I have mixed feelings about the way this match is going to go. Looking at the two Raws that have built this match up, both Raws had Kevin Owens literally flooring Cena, which of course in the laws of professional wrestling says that John Cena will win the match. But if the rumours are true and Triple H wants to make NXT an equal promotion to Raw and drop the developmental thing, then it makes a hell of a lot more sense to have the NXT champion beat John Cena. Because even though having, say, Sami Zayn come out and have a good match with John Cena helps it, if the NXT champion beats one of the top guys of Raw, then that says we're not developmental anymore, we're up there. If we're not better than Raw, we're just as good. And I'm not saying Kevin Owens should Brock Lesnar it. I think John Cena and Kevin Owens should have a really good competitive fight. But I do feel like Owens should walk out victorious. And I'm sorry, but I think the money will override the wrestling tradition, and my prediction is Kevin Owens to win. Yes, that could be wishful thinking, it probably is, but in my head it just makes too much sense business wise. Next match is the Divas Championship match. Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi. Now, my brain is trying to tell me that Nikki's going to win this match, but I just have this strange feeling deep down. Maybe it's a bit of a fanboy coming out, but I'm going to go out on a limb and say Paige will win the Divas Championship match. I think it makes sense as well, because then Paige and Naomi can have a program together, considering that Naomi turned on Paige, and it makes a hell of a lot more sense than Nikki, considering Nikki just turned babyface out of nowhere, and just, well, why are we cheering her? Because you're told to. Fair enough. So I think Paige will win the Divas Championship. Next match, the Intercontinental Elimination Chamber match between R-Truth, Sheamus, King Barrett, Ryback, Dolph Ziggler and Rusev. Now, looking at Elimination Chamber matches by themselves, I find them one of the hardest to predict without any outlooking things like if there's WrestleMania coming up and we have a number one contender, so we're looking for a champion, for example. Depending on who the number one contender is, will help tell you who the winner is. Without shit like that, like for example this match, they are very difficult to predict, especially when it's for a vacant championship, which usually means that something's gone wrong and this isn't the plan. For example, this with Daniel Bryan vacating the Intercontinental Championship, although I am under the belief that if it wasn't for Daniel Bryan vacating the championship, then we wouldn't be having this event whatsoever. So at least that's something good come out of it, if I'm right, of course. But anyway, back to point. My point is that I'm finding this match very difficult to predict. Looking at the list of people in it, there is only one hell no answer, which is R-Truth. Everyone else I could see holding the Intercontinental Championship, so now I'm trying to look at what I could see after the Chamber. So looking at them, I think the biggest opportunity is Dolph Ziggler or Rusev, and I hate myself for saying Rusev, but I know everyone else likes him, so it would work. With the way those two are with Lana at the moment, I think if you throw a championship in there, it would just spice it up a bit. So I think the winner of this match will be Dolph Ziggler, because I think if he's holding the championship, it'd be the easiest way of using it, because then he has the championship and he has Lana, and Rusev does things to Lana, like harasses her as such like that, because he's not going to touch her in the PG era, and then they can use that, because then Dolph Ziggler has a reason to go for Rusev because he's touching Lana, and then they put the title on the line, so they have a reason to fight each other. Rusev wants a championship, Dolph Ziggler wants revenge for touching Lana. There's lots of talk about Alana swerve, so she goes back with Rusev. I don't think that would be a good idea, because they're only just starting to turn her a babyface. I guess she's kind of all the way there now, and I personally don't see her going back. I don't think that swerve's going to happen. In fact, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I see her becoming an in-ring competitor before too long. So let's wait and see. Just to be noted, this part has been recorded at a later point. Rusev has been injured, and it looks like he's not going to be in the Chamber match, and the rumours are he's going to be replaced by Bray Wyatt. I don't see this changing my prediction too much. I still think that Ziggler might win. A bit maybe Ryback, and then them two can have a Ryback and Bray Wyatt can finish their little tiff, but right now I'm thinking Ziggler. And finally, the WWE Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. Now, it's always good when these two go at it, but a point of this match that I think needs to be addressed now is that Roman Reigns doesn't have a match. And considering he's been pretty involved in this story so far, I was actually thinking they were going to make it a triple threat at the last Raw, which I didn't think would be too wise just after the Fatal 4-Way, but I just had a feeling, which I was wrong, but I guess there's still time. But as it is right now, I think that Roman Reigns will help Dean Ambrose fight off the Authority, because they're going to interfere, they always do, and then during which Roman Reigns is going to cost Dean Ambrose the championship. Now, I don't think this is going to be a heel turn. I think it's just going to be an accidental thing, but I'm a bit nervous about it, because the next response to that is Dean Ambrose versus Roman Reigns, which, if they're trying to build Roman Reigns, is stupid. Why put him against someone with all the fans that are backing him? He's going to get booed out of the building, and doing stupid stuff like that is what's making him lose points in the fans' eyes. He's not everyone's favourite, so don't put him against everyone's favourite. You put him against everyone's least favourite. I tell you what, it should be a good idea right about now. Roman Reigns versus John Cena, because then what will all the so-called smart fans do then? And I have a sneaking suspicion they'd start cheering Roman Reigns because of it. I'm not saying he should turn heel, they should do a babyface program, but I think that that will be the smartest way of getting so-called smart fans to cheer Reigns. Putting him against Dean Ambrose, not going to do it. If anything, that's going to cement him being booed by them even more. So yeah, but at the end of the match, I'm pretty sure Seth Rollins is still walking out with the championship, and I think rightfully so right now. I don't think Dean Ambrose is ready to be champion, and I don't think Seth Rollins is ready to lose it. So, but anyway, I think this whole event will be a pretty good event. I'm not going to say it's going to be one for the ages, but I think it will be a pretty good show. But let me know what you think. If you like this prediction video, please like, favourite and subscribe. I am the Food. Thanks for listening.